Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. And today we will be summarizing the second part of the laws for a very thoughtful book, which is The 48 Laws of Power of Robert Greene. In the previous video, I have discussed the laws from 1 to 12. And of course, you are more than welcome to check it first if you haven't done so. And today is the day I am moving forward and discuss another laws for you. Yay! So yes, I'm super excited. Let's start it. There is no doubt that there is nothing more valuable than having a little bit more awareness about social psychology to get us smarter and more successful overall. And so, power is an essential human condition that applies to our social life. We want to have a control over people and or events we are part of. Now, let's move to our icing on the cake part of this podcast, which is the law section. Law number 13 is when asking for help, appeal to people's self-interest, never to their mercy or gratitude. So, when you ask for help, let people know what's in it for them. Do not expect altruism. When people are altruistic, which is rare, you are in their debt. Usually, people will not want to help you for your sake. They will find a way to ignore you. Get their support, appeal to their self-interest. If something will benefit them, exaggerate shamelessly. Many people need opportunities to display their good heart, so do not be shy. Give them that opportunity. It's not as if you are coming to them by asking for help. It is really their pleasure to give and to be seen giving. You must distinguish the differences among powerful people and figure out what makes them tick. For instance, when they ooze greed, do not appeal to their charity. When they want to look charitable and noble, do not appeal to their greed. Law number 14. Pose as a friend, work as a spy. Seem to be a friend to gather intelligence, draw people out, ask oblique questions, get them reveal themselves, disarm them by seeming to be a friend. The realm of power, your goal is a degree of control over future events. The trick is to find a way to find out their secrets and hidden intentions without letting them know what you are up to. For instance, in 1944, the Nazis' rocket bomb attacks on London suddenly escalated. Over 2,000 flying bombs fell on in the city, killing more than 5,000 people. Somehow, however, the Germans consistently missed their targets. Bombs that were intended for Tower Bridge or Piccadilly would fall short of the city, landing in the less populated suburbs. And this was because in fixing their targets, the Germans relied on secret agents they had planted in England. They did not know that these agents had been discovered and that in their place, English-controlled agents were feeding them subtly deceptive information. The bombs would hit further and further from their targets every time they fell. By the end of the campaign, they were landing on cows in the country. By feeding people wrong information, then you gain a potent advantage. While spying gives you a third eye, disinformation puts out one of your enemy's eyes. Now, law number 15 is crush your enemy totally. Destroy your enemy. When you fight, do not leave your enemy alive to fight another day. Destroy them utterly. Even a small spark can start a forest fire. Wow, this is really a lot, right? According to the author, the solution is simple. Allow your enemies no options. Annihilate them and their territory is yours to cave. Her. Sorry, my English is bad. So yes, the goal of power is to control your enemies completely, to make them obey your will. So yes, it is not, of course, a question of murder. It is a question of banishment. Sufficiently weakened and then exiled from your court forever, your enemies are completely harmless. Law number 16 is use absence to increase respect and honor. Absent yourself to inspire awe. When people see you too much, they very often do not respect you. So stay out of sight to inspire awe and perhaps fear. Scarce things are more valuable. The more you are seen and heard from, the more your value degrades. So you become a habit. No matter how hard you try to be different, without your knowing why, people respect you less and less. Interestingly, this applies also in matters of love and seduction. In the beginning stages of an affair, the lover's absence stimulates your imagination, forming a sort of aura around him or her. But this aura fades when you know too much, when your imagination no longer has room to roam. The loved one becomes a person like anyone else, a person whose presence is taken for granted. This is why the 7th century French courtesan Ninon de L'Enclos, do I pronounce it correctly? She basically advised constant feints at withdrawal from one's lover. Love never dies of starvation, she wrote, but often of indigestion. So yes, I got some love trick for you. All right, law number 70. Keep others in suspended terror. Cultivate an air of unpredictability. Be unpredictable to inspire fear. If you are unpredictable, people will exhaust themselves trying to figure out what you're up to, right? In extreme cases, volatile changes of mood, temper, or plan can empower you as a tyrant, allowing you to terrorize underlings. But be aware that unpredictability can work against you sometimes, especially in situations when you are in a subordinate position. There are times when it is better to let people feel comfortable because too much unpredictability will be seen as a sign of indecisiveness or even psychic problems. So patterns are powerful and you can terrify people by disrupting them, but such power should be used very smart. Law number 18. Do not build fortresses to protect yourself. Isolation is dangerous. The world is dangerous and enemies are everywhere. And everyone has to protect themselves, right? But isolation exposes you to more dangers than it protects you. So it cuts you off from valuable information, it makes you conspicuous and an easy target. So better to circulate among people. Do not withdraw totally because isolation has its perils. It is one thing to make yourself scarce. You cannot trust anyone to bring you accurate information, so you cannot stay completely out of sight. Be out and about enough to know what is up. Without keeping an ear on what is happening in the streets, you will be unable to protect yourself. Law number 19. Know who you're dealing with. Do not offend the wrong person. Know with whom you deal and give no offense to the powerful. You have to be able to read people. Know what power and what friends your antagonists command. Make no assumptions. People often pretend to be what they are not, and the ability to measure people and to know who you're dealing is the most important skill of all in gathering and conserving power. Without it, you are blind. Not only will you offend the wrong people, you will choose the wrong to work on and will think you're flattering people when you are actually insulting them. So, before embarking on any move, take the measure of your mark or potential opponent. Otherwise, you waste time and make mistakes. Second, never trust appearances. And I think everyone knows that, right? So anyone with a serpent's heart can use a show of kindness, to cloak it. A person who is blustery on the outside is often really a coward. Learn to see through appearances and their contradictions. So never trust the version that people give of themselves. It is utterly unreliable. Law number 20 is it's a quite harsh one. So yeah, be aware. Do not commit to anyone. Yes, make no promises. You are your only commitment. By maintaining your independence, you become the master of others, laying people against each other, making them pursue you. When you hold yourself back, you incur no anger but a kind of respect. You instantly seem powerful because you make yourself ungraspable rather than succumbing to the group or to the relationship, as most people do. Be aware though, this aura of power only grows with time, okay? So, as your reputation for independence grows, more and more people will come to desire you, wanting to be the one who gets you in to commit. For instance, when Picasso, after early years of poverty, had become the most successful artist in the world, he did not commit himself to this dealer or that dealer. Although they tried to encourage him with attractive offers and grand promises, instead, he appeared to have no interest in their services, and this tactic drove them wild. Remember, you have only so much energy and so much time. Every moment wasted on the affairs of others subtract from your strength. So you might be afraid that people will condemn you as heartless, but in the end, maintaining your independence and self reliance will gain you more respect and place you in a position of power from which you can choose to help others on your own initiative. Law number 21 is play a sucker to catch a sucker. Seem dumber than you mark. Play dumb. There is no point looking smarter than people. Disarm your victims by making them feel smartest. They like it, and it makes them shed all suspicion and fear. So you can manipulate them as you please. To reveal the true nature of your intelligence rarely pays. You should get in the habit of downplaying it at all times. If people learn the truth, that you are actually much smarter than you look, they will admire you more for being discreet than for making your brilliance show off. At the start of your climb to the top, of course, you cannot play too stupid, right? So you may want to let your bosses know that you are smarter than the competition around you. As you climb the ladder, however, you should, to some degree, try to dampen your brilliance. Law number 22. Yes, we made it to this level. Use the surrender tactic, transform weakness into power. If you are weaker than your opponent, forget staging a good fight for glory. Don't give them the satisfaction of fighting and defeating you. So surrender first. Surrender on terms that let you keep as much power as possible. Wait for your opponent to make a false step and strike from the dark, unsuspected. All right, law number 23 is concentrate your forces, which means to focus your strengths. Pick one point and bring all your forces to bear on this. Do not disperse your energy or power. Cultivate one powerful mentor or patron unstoppably. We are all in a state of total distraction and diffusion, right? Hardly able to keep our minds in one direction before we are pulled in 1,000 others. Let's give an example. Let's give an example of Casanova in that case. So Casanova attributed his success in life to his ability to concentrate on a single goal and push at it until it yielded. It was his ability to give himself over completely to the woman he desired that made him so intensively seductive. For the weeks or months that one of these women lived in his mind, he thought of no one else. So yes, concentrate a single goal and beat it into submission. Okay, next one. Last but not least for today's video is law number 24. And law number 24 says, play the perfect courtier. Great courtiers throughout history have mastered the science of manipulating people. Their secret is to make the king feel more kingly. They make everyone else fear their power. They are magicians of their appearance, knowing that most things at court are judged by how they seem. So great courtiers are gracious and polite. Their aggression is only indirect. Okay, guys, that's all I have for you for today's video. It was pleasure being here. The next laws will be available for you in the next couple of weeks. So yes, keep tuned. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and please express yourself by commenting below. I would love to know what particular law discussed today you find most interesting and what other law you are not a big fan of. And of course, this is completely normal. Everyone has a right to like and dislike something, right? All right, so yes, guys, I love you. Thank you for watching and I cannot wait to see you in my next video. Thank you. Mwah.